In this lesson, we'll take a look at building the rocket for the Airbus Discovery Space Living on the Moon tutorials. It's a best practice in Fusion 360 to work with components. To begin to work with a component, you simply create a component. From the Assemble toolbar, select the New Component tool. I'll give it the name External Tank. And then we can start sketching. I'll start with the Line tool, selecting a point above the origin of the sketch. I'll draw to the right, and then begin to draw a vertical line. You'll notice that the new vertical line is perpendicular to the first line. At the end of the vertical line, I'll click and drag the mouse to place an arc that is tangent to the vertical line. I'll continue the arc around until it's directly above the first point. Then I'm going to click and drag another line segment off to the left. Selecting the check mark will allow you to stop creating the current line segment and still use the Line tool, where I'll draw one last vertical line that goes back down to the first point. Once the sketch is closed, you'll see it highlight. This is a great feature of Fusion 360 to let you know that you have a sketch that you can create 3D from. I'll select the horizontal line and switch it to a construction line. This will allow me to continue to use it in the sketch, but it will be ignored for 3D features. Then further down in the sketch palette, I'll select the tangent constraint. This will make the arc tangent to the horizontal line. Then I can use the horizontal vertical constraint to align the point I started my sketch to the origin of the sketch. With the elements of the sketch defined and the constraints applied, we'll use parametric dimensions to set the size. I'll right-click and from the marking menu, go into the sketch area and then select the Sketch Dimension tool. This single tool will allow me to place dimensions between the origin and the bottom of the sketch, setting the distance to 20 millimeters. Then select the overall height of the right side of the sketch to 72 millimeters and the width of the bottom line at 10. As I've been applying dimensions, you might have noticed that elements of the sketch turned from blue to black as they were constrained. Now the entire sketch profile is black. This means that everything in the sketch is controlled either through a constraint or a dimension. I'll finish the sketch, and then from the Create pull-down, select the Revolve tool and select the profile of the sketch. Once I've done that, I can choose the axis to revolve the shape around. As soon as I select the axis, you'll see that we immediately get a three-dimensional shape. Clicking OK will generate the body inside of the external tank component. To edit the sketch, you simply go to the timeline, find the sketch icon, and double-click on it. This will return you directly to the sketch environment. Now, I want to add a collar to the external fuel tank. I'll start by just simply drawing a rectangle, setting its width to 2.5 and its height to 25. Then I'll use the Sketch Dimension tool to place it 88 millimeters above the origin. When I finish the sketch will return to a state where its visibility is off. In the browser, I can expand the external fuel tank component and expand the Sketches folder to turn the sketch back on. With the sketch back on, I can use the Revolve feature, select the geometry and the axis, and add this collar as a new body to the component. Now it's time to move on to the main engine design.